electrochemical series of metals. Depending on the ease with which the metals lose their electrons and forms cations, they are arranged in a series known as electrochemical series. More metallic a metal is, it will be at the top of the electrochemical series, or more electropositive a metal is, it will be at the top of the electrochemical series. If it is less electropositive or less metallic, that will come down in the electrochemical series. Let us consider few metallic elements. They are arranged in this manner. K is most electropositive in this list, so that is at the top. Silver is least electropositive in this list, so that is at the bottom. Hydrogen, whatever we have written here at the center, that is considered as a reference. We all know that hydrogen is a non-metal. Since it is a reference, this is included in the table. What it means is all the metals which come above hydrogen, that is these metals, they lose the electrons more easily than hydrogen. If you consider the conversion of these metals into their cation and hydrogen becoming H+, these metals easily become cation than hydrogen becoming H+. In the same manner, metals which are below hydrogen, they lose the electrons less readily than hydrogen, meaning hydrogen conversion to H+ is easier than converting these metals to their cation. Now, what it means is there is an easy formation of K+ from K. K loses electrons to become K+ easily, or silver loses electrons to become silver+ with great difficulty. That is what is the message. Since K become K+ easily, it is very hard to do the reverse reaction, that is conversion of K+ to K. Conversion of K+ to K is nothing but a reduction reaction. So, easy formation of K+, but it is difficult to reduce K+ to K. In the same manner, difficult formation of Ag+, but it is easy to reduce Ag+ to Ag. And all the elements which are over here in between, they also follow the same order. Most reactive metal, least reactive metal, easy formation of K+, difficult formation of Ag+, difficult reduction of K+ to K, easy reduction of Ag+ to Ag. In the electrolysis, since we deal with the reduction of these cations to their metallic form, we tell increasing ease of reduction of cation goes from top to bottom. In other words, this is the order of increasing ease of reduction of cations. So from the electrolysis chapter point of view, stick on to this order for the ease of reduction of cations. However, we are having electrochemical series for metals. We are also having electrochemical series for anions. Few anions are listed here in the table. Order is top to bottom. There is an increasing order of ease of oxidation of anions. Hydroxyl, which comes at the bottom, undergoes oxidation easier than iodide. Iodide undergoes oxidation easier than bromide. Bromide undergoes oxidation easier than chloride, and so on. In an electrolytic cell, redox reaction occurs. Anode is the positive pole of electrolytic cell where oxidation occurs. Cathode is the negative pole of electrolytic cell where reduction occurs. Negative ions attracted towards the positive pole and undergo oxidation in anode. Positive ions get attracted towards negative pole and undergo reduction at cathode. Discharge is nothing but oxidation and reduction reaction happening at anode and cathode respectively. Apart from discharge, there is a term called as selective discharge. Selective word appears when we have more than one to choose. Understand, chemistry is all about competition. When we have more than one negative ions near anode, one of the negative ions will selectively get oxidized or discharged based on their activity and concentration. This is called as selective discharge. In the same manner, when we have more than one positive ions near cathode, one of the positive ions selectively get reduced or discharged based on their activity and concentration. As an example, let us consider the competition between sulfate and iodide near anode to undergo oxidation. If you recall from the electrochemical series of anions, we know that iodide can be easily oxidized than sulfate. So, iodide selectively gets discharged over sulfate. In the same manner, between bromide and hydroxyl, hydroxyl selectively gets discharged. Coming to the cathode, if we have the computation between H plus and copper 2 plus, refer back to the electrochemical series of metals, we know that copper 2 plus can be reduced to copper easily than H plus getting reduced to hydrogen. Between H plus and K plus, we can reduce H plus easily than K plus. Solutions are majorly of two types. One is electrolytes, another one is non-electrolytes. Electrolytes conduct electricity in molten or solution state. Molten state is sometimes called as fused state. Non-electrolytes do not conduct electricity in molten or solution state. Electrolytes can be further divided into two types, strong electrolytes and weak electrolytes. Strong electrolytes are good conductor of electricity and they have relatively larger number of ions present in them to conduct. Weak electrolytes are poor conductor of electricity and they have lesser number of ions present in them to conduct. Few more differences between strong electrolyte and weak electrolyte. Bulb glows bright when current is passed through a strong electrolyte. This is because we have larger number of ions in it. Bulb glows dim when current is passed through a weak electrolyte. This is because of the presence of lesser number of ions in weak electrolyte. Few examples under strong electrolyte and weak electrolyte. We can observe we have acids, bases and salts under both strong electrolyte and weak electrolyte. Strong electrolytes dissociate almost completely in water. In other words, we can tell degree of dissociation is 100% with strong electrolyte. This means if we take 100 HCl and drop it into water, all 100 HCl will dissociate to give 100 H plus ions and 100 Cl minus ions. Weak electrolytes dissociate partially in water. In other words, degree of dissociation is less than 100%. If we take the example of acetic acid, if we drop 100 acetic acid into water, out of which maybe 10 acetic acid molecules will dissociate to give 10 acetate ions and 10 H plus ions. Remaining 90 acetic acid molecules will remain in the molecular form in the solution. We observed in the previous slide that both ionic compound and polar covalent compound sit as examples under electrolytes. When these compounds are dissolved in water, ionic compounds undergo dissociation and polar covalent compounds undergo ionization. Let us understand these terms with the help of example. Under ionic compound, let us consider sodium chloride solid. We know that in NaCl, we have Na plus ions and Cl minus ion. When this solid ionic compound is dissolved in water, ions separate from each other and get dissolved in water. In this change, we have ions on the reactant side as well as on the product side. So this change is called as dissociation. Coming to the polar covalent compound, let us consider HCl gas as an example. HCl is a polar covalent compound. When dropped into water, it forms ions, that is H plus and Cl minus. In this change, we have molecule on the reactant side and ions on the product side. Under ionization, ions are newly formed. This process is called as ionization. Now it is about electrolysis. Electrolysis consists of two terms, electro and lysis. Electro refers to current and lysis refers to splitting. So, electrolysis can be simply defined as splitting a compound by using current. That compound may be acid, base or salt. Example, let us pass the current through water. We get hydrogen gas and oxygen gas as products. Here, we split the molecule by using current, so this can be called as electrolysis. This is the rough diagram of the electrolytic cell, which consists of two electrodes, anode and cathode, electrolyte, and an external power supply that is called as battery. Anode in the electrolytic cell is positive pole and cathode in the electrolytic cell is negative pole. Anode is connected to the positive terminal of the battery and cathode is connected to the negative terminal of the battery. At anode, always oxidation occurs, which will be usually of anions if not of the metal from which electrode is made up of. At cathode, always reduction occurs, that will be of cations. This is also an electrolytic cell taken from the reference Dalal. Electrodes in the electrolytic cell are of two types. One is inert electrodes, another one is active electrodes. Name itself is conveying most of the information. Let us get into the details. Inert electrodes do not take part in electrolysis reaction, that is redox reaction. Active electrodes take part in electrolysis reaction and compete with other ions which come near the electrode. So there happens a selective discharge of one particular ion depending upon its activity or the concentration. Example for inert electrodes are graphite or carbon electrodes, platinum electrodes and iron electrodes. Example for active electrodes are copper electrodes, nickel electrodes, silver electrodes, etc.